Alright, today's episode is going to be about, I'm going to go over my book that I'm writing. Okay, so let's get into it real quick. Wait, I didn't turn on Audacity. Building an indie business in the center of venture capital. I am Alex Edmonds, known as Supreme Rum Ham on the internet, and this is the Building an Indie Business podcast. Alright, so let's get into it. Today, I will be discussing the book I'm writing. This book is about podcasting. So, I'm going to talk about what this book is, what the goals are for the book, why I decided to write a book, why I'm using Gumroad to sell the book, details about the book, pricing for the book, my process for the book, how to promote the book. Hold on, give me a sec. Sorry about that. Okay, let me restart the recording. Building an indie business in the center of venture capital. I am Alex Edmonds, known as Supreme Rum Ham on the internet, and this is the Building an Indie Business podcast. Okay, so today I'm going to be discussing the book I'm writing. I'm going to be discussing what is this book, what are the goals for the book, why I am writing a book, how I am selling the book, details about the book, details about the pricing, the process I'm using for writing the book, how I'm promoting the book, the struggles of writing a book, the release date of the book, and what I have left to do for the book as of right now. Okay, so let's get into it. What is this book? This book is my brain dump of my podcasting mind. Everything I know about podcasting and everything I've learned about podcasting for the last year and a half is going into this book. So it's the same topics that you've heard about podcasting on the podcast, but they're more thought out. When I do a podcast episode, I think of ideas to add to the podcast episode after I do the episode. So the book has those extra ideas that I have in the book. So when I have a new idea also, I have new examples. So those new examples are in the book as well. I have noticed some comparisons between comedians and stand-up comedy and podcasting. So I walk people in the book through the examples from stand-up comedy that I've noticed. So right now, the working title of the book is Learn How to Podcast Through Stand-Up Comedy. What I want to do is I want to make sure that podcasting and stand-up comedy are in the title. I'm still trying to figure it out. Okay, so the goals for the book. The first goal is to monetize Open Podcast. So I'm giving away this book to any member of Open Podcast, and I want to get people outside of Open Podcast to buy the book and join Open Podcast. I'll talk about monetization a little more and pricing. The next thing I want to do with the book is build credibility. So I want people in the podcast industry to read the book and think of me as a credible source. And that way, they'll point to my book when someone asks, oh, how do you start a podcast? And then those people will join Open Podcast, and I get more members of Open Podcast. The next goal for the book is to create more podcasters. By reading the book, as someone who is interested in podcasting, I hope to give someone a tool to be able to start a podcast from just reading my book. Okay. The next thing I want to do is I want to launch a paid product, a small paid product. And so where this comes from is Rob Walling of Startups for the Rest of Us. He has this approach to building products, and it's called the stair-step approach. And it's like you go up each step every time you create a product. So he starts out, the first step is create a small one-time payment product. And so he talks about doing a course or doing an ebook. So I'm starting out with an ebook. The next step is multiple one-time products. And so that's going to be the next step. And then the third and final step is having a SaaS. So I'm doing that. Okay. Why write a book? Why I wanted to write a book for all those other reasons I stated earlier. Also, I run a podcast community. And so new people come into the community and they ask me questions. And now I can just point them to this book and they can read the book and get every question they have. Also, because I've answered these questions a lot, I have really good notes on how to do those things, and my notes now go into the book. And I remember how to start a podcast. I still remember it versus someone who started a podcast 10 years ago because it's still fresh in my mind. So I wanted to have those things in the book and have those things in the book. And if I waited a little longer to start the book and have the book available for people, I might not be able to remember those things so well. I also, now I have over 24 hours of podcasting content, and so it would be really hard for someone to skim my podcast to find exactly what they want to hear so quickly. With the book, they can skim it. So if they just want to learn about live streaming, they can easily just skim to the chapter about live streaming and read that chapter in 5-10 minutes versus 20 minutes of the podcast episode. Okay, so I am selling the book on Gumroad. And why am I selling the book on Gumroad? Because they have great analytics. So I have been posting the link to the e-commerce store, which hosts the book. And every time someone clicks on the book, I know where that click came from. So if that click comes from Twitter or Reddit or anywhere else, I know what the best source of clicks is for the book. So I know where to promote the podcast, or not the podcast, the book. Okay. The next reason why I used Gumroad is easy setup. The setup took me 5 or 10 minutes. If I were to use Stripe and set up the store on my own website, it'd take longer than that. Okay. Embedding. I'm able to embed the product on my own website. So I don't have to use Stripe or anything else to have a page selling the book on my website. Okay. Customer info. I am able to get the emails of everyone who buys a book, so I can email someone and ask them questions. With other platforms, they don't give me the email. Okay. Then the next reason is Gumroad allows pre-orders. So right now, the pre-order link to the book is in the show notes. And I have it set up to be a full order on a certain date, and I'll get into the date later. And I am able to promote the book before it's even released, which is great. Okay. The next reason I use Gumroad is because I've heard that it is very easy to file your taxes with every sale. I'm not too sure about this. I haven't looked into it too much, but that's what I've heard. The final reason why I decided to use Gumroad is for affiliate links. So I can easily give someone access to becoming an affiliate for the book, which would lead to more sales. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, I compare comedians and their stand-up journeys, not their stand-up journeys, but attributes of stand-up comedy to podcasting. So why comedians? The first reason is because many comedians host podcasts, and I've been noticing the fact that podcasting and stand-up comedy is in front of a microphone, so they use the same techniques for stand-up comedy in their podcasting. So I figured that someone could take those comedy techniques and use them for a podcast. Okay. The next reason I decided to use comedians in the book is because I listen to many stand-up comedians, and I have examples just off the top of my head for to add to the book. Okay. The next reason why I chose to talk about comedians in the book is because it makes the book more interesting. So I talked about this multiple times in the episode of Dogs and Web Development and the coffee episode. So in order for people to be interested in a book, not just a book actually, in someone else's product, to make the product stand out, that person has to give a twist or make it more interesting than the next book. So my book stands out from a book that's just how to podcast. If someone has an interest in doing stand-up comedy, I have examples for them to get started in the comedy industry with my book about podcasting. So that's another market that I have that might be interested in the book. Okay. Pricing. So the pre-order price changes every couple of weeks. I just added an extra $1. So the max pre-order price that I will put is $15. The launch price that will be for the book is $25. Now, this isn't the price for everyone. It is only for random people. So if you're in Open Podcast, I will give you the book for free, but I would like a review. If you're part of the MakerLog community, it'll probably be $15 to $20. So that's not the full price for pretty much anyone listening to this podcast. Okay. My goal for the pricing and why it's that price is because I want to take home $15 a book. Now, why $15 a book? Because when I take home $15 a book, that's 1 month expenses for Open Podcast. That's what it cost me to run Open Podcast. So that covers my expenses. So, yeah. Exclusive offer for BAIB listeners. Free in exchange for a review. Communities I like get a discount. And communities I don't like will get a price hike, but also get a discount to the original price. So yeah, I'm just joking. No, I'm not. Okay. So my process for writing the book. The first thing I do is I outline a chapter. So I have the why I do something, maybe, the good, the bad, how to fix your problems, things like that. It's a podcast episode. Then I record the episode, and then when the episode is done, I listen to the episode as I am typing it out, and I type it out using speech to text. Then I fix the speech to text errors, and another reason I use speech to text is because it helps the book sound more conversational, which I think makes the book better. Okay, then I use this app called Hemingway, and what Hemingway does is it helps me make my writing more clear. It helps me get rid of long sentences, helps me get rid of adverbs, and it helps me get rid of passive voice in any of my writing. So this whole process takes about 8 days, and most of the time I spend is outlining, because recording only takes about 20-25 minutes. Typing it out and using speech to text, that takes me 2 to 3 hours maybe. Oh, with editing. So yeah. Okay. How I plan to promote the book. Okay. So the first thing how I want to promote the book is using Gumroad's feature, Discover, where people can search up like podcast, how to podcast, and my book will come up. So that's the first way. The next way I plan to promote the book is there are a bunch of directories specifically for ebooks, and I will put my book in those directories and hopefully make sales from that. Okay. Another way I plan to promote the book is by offering communities special deals. So like I talked about discounts earlier. That's another way to promote the book. Send people free copies. I already mentioned this. Anyone who's part of Open Podcast gets the book for free. The next way I plan to promote the book is doing interviews. So I plan to get on other people's podcasts for the purpose of promoting my book. And hopefully, if people like what I have to say, they'll buy the book at a discounted price. Giveaways. So I plan to, once the book is done, do a giveaway on maybe Twitter or Reddit. They have to sign up for my email list, and anyone who signs up, or give away a book to one of the people who have signed up for the email list during that time. Okay. The next thing I will do to promote the book is give away sample chapters. So I have a chapter ready. Not ready, but I have a chapter in mind that I have to write, and I will give that specific chapter away to people. And if they like that chapter, hopefully they buy the book. Okay. The last 2 ways I plan to promote the book is using the Open Podcast newsletter. So currently, right now, the very first thing someone sees as a link is a link to the pre-order of the book. And I say, hey, you can pre-order the Open Podcast book. And hopefully they have an interest in my book and they pre-order the book. Okay, the next and final way I plan to promote the book is using the Open Podcast blog. So I'm going to take each chapter and make it a blog post. And after this episode as well, I plan to write this episode into a blog post and promote it. Say, hey, I'm writing a podcasting book. And if you want to learn about podcasting, read my book, pre-order it. And so, yeah, hopefully that'll get some people to pre-order it. Okay, finally, struggles. One struggle I have, which is really weird, is I have problems deciding on the order of the chapters. I want it to flow really well, and I want to make that perfect, and I don't know how to do that. So, yeah, every time I look at the table of contents that I have right now, I change the order to because I think it'll sound better or flow better with my new changes. Okay, figuring out the cover. So, usually I have things in mind for the cover, but I don't, or not for like graphics and whatever. And so right now, there's not really much going on in terms of the cover in my mind. The cover I have in mind right now is like a stage, like it looks like a stand-up stage, and then instead of a person being on there or like a mic, a table with a mic on it, and that would allude to stand-up comedy and podcasting at the same time. Okay. The next struggle I have is editing. So, every chapter I have to edit it. And I have to figure out what to cut and what to add. And sometimes that can be a struggle because I don't know what provides value to people and what doesn't provide value in terms of writing. So, yeah. Okay. The comma problem. Okay. So, I have a problem when I write. Instead of just ending a sentence, I put a comma there and I create another sentence. And so, what Hemingway is showing me is that exact problem. So when a sentence is too long or doesn't make sense, it'll be yellow. And when a sentence is really bad, it'll be red. And so right now, all my red sentences, I just replace the comma with a period, and it goes back to, okay, this sentence is good, or this paragraph is good. So yeah, everything I've written, which is like 26, 27 pieces of writing, I have a lot of those types of sentences, so I have to go back and fix that. Okay. My last struggle is knowing when to stop adding. So I have 26 or 27 chapters so far, and sometimes I'll think of something new to add to the book, and I need to stop doing that. I need to just, this is the chapters, finish what I haven't read or what I haven't written, and release the book. Okay. Speaking of that, what is the release date? So right now, the release date is July 31st. I'm hoping to stick to that. Right now, I think I'm on track for that, even maybe a week or two earlier, but you never know. And so the latest release date is August 31st, an extra month, and I should be able to hit that no matter what. Okay, so what's left for the book? I have to edit every chapter. I'm working on that. I don't even know how many I have left. Then I have to make the book into multiple formats. which as of right now, I know there's EPUB, there's PDF, and there's Mobi, and I don't know how to make Mobi, that format, and I think that format is for the phones, but there's some software, open source software that I can download, and that will help me make those formats. Okay. Also, what's left is to decide and design a cover, so I'm working on that. The next thing I have to do is I have to write and record, or record and write, outline, record, and write the last few chapters. I have 4 or 5 chapters that I haven't written, I haven't recorded. I have a little bit of an outline for them, but I have to record them. Okay, and the final thing I have to do for the book is create the blog post for the chapters to promote the book. Yeah, so I've done that for interviewing, for solo podcasting. There's probably, I have 2 or 3 ready to go. I just haven't promoted them yet. Okay, so that's it for this episode. The link to the book is in the show notes, as I already said. If you would like to host a podcast episode, there's the Open Podcast Community Podcast. You can get in touch with me through email or Telegram. Those links are also in the show notes. If you would like to guest post on the Open Podcast blog, let me know, and I will help you post your article to the blog. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day. Bye. Oh, okay. Alright, that's... book. Announcement. Okay. Jesus. Okay. Okay. So what's next is I have to make it into an audio file. No, a video file, sorry. Oh, is there anyone who wants to chat? I didn't check. We can also check Twitch. Okay. Alright. No one's watching apparently. Okay, that's fine. Okay. I don't know what I'm gonna name this episode. Oh, wait. I do know. Oh. It screwed me. You screwed me, sir. Okay. Now we gotta listen to the episode. Go back to it, and then... Okay. Where's the intro? Known as Supreme Rome Ham on the internet. And this is the Building an Indie Business Podcast. Okay, so today I'm going to be discussing known as Supreme Rome Ham on the internet. And this is the Building an Indie Business Podcast. Oh my god. Podcast. Okay, so today I'm going to be discussing the book I'm writing. I'm going to be discussing what is this book, what are the goals for the book, why I am writing a book, how I am selling the book, details about the book, details about the pricing, the process I am using for writing the book, how I'm promoting the book, the struggles of writing a book, the release date of the book, and what I have left to do for the book as of right now. Okay, so let's get into it. What is this book? So let's get into it. What is this book? Quit. Okay, so I can do here to here. Copy. Okay. And now? What is this book? New. Oh my god. Okay. Building. Okay. Export. Book. Intro. What is this book? On this book. Book. Edit. Okay. Jesus Christ. Don Jesus. Don Jesus. Don Jesus. Don Jesus. Okay. Book intro. Okay. For the newsletter, I thought I had 3. Oh, do I have 3? No, I don't. Well, this is an old one. This one's about ads. Alright. Did I do this one? Okay. Okay. Problem is that I'm 2 campaigns ahead. I can't wear these. Alright, no headache. That's good. So I don't really remember. Shareable clips. Oh yeah. So this is the last one. Wait. Prove a room. I still need to read this one. Okay. So the Edison one is okay. $17. It's only 34%. Alright. That's what's up. From edit design. Nah, I'm just gonna leave it and see if that changes anything. If it does, then I'm fucked. You can just say it like that, I guess. Okay. I've got a Telegram. Oh my god, what? Standard MailChimp font size. Okay, fair enough. What? I don't care. Whatever, I do what I want. These people should be happy that I'm promoting their article. And also, I don't have an article with such a long title. How about that? Whatever, I do what I want. Oh, whoops. I thought my keyboard was broken for a second. Okay. Moving on over. don't know how to spell commuting, apparently. Oh. GDRP. I have one, I have two. Okay. Schedule 29. I hope that's right. 3:30 a.m. schedule. Okay. Every time I do this, I completely forget about six eight. So 6:15. 15. Oh, wait, this is June 15th. 12 a.m. This is 822 and this is 600. Damn. Okay, what episode is this one? 67. Schedule. Okay. Alright. I think I'm done here. Yeah, I don't have anything left. Okay.